Welcome back, college football and Hawkeye fans, to another episode of the Touchdown Black and Gold Vlog, the channel made by the college football fan for the college football fan, the channel where we examine, discuss, celebrate, and honor all things college football across the entire college football landscape. I'm your usual host, Blair Parks. It's great to be back with you. And what I've got on tap for you today is my Week 3 Picks and Predictions episode. I do apologize to all of you faithful followers, friends, and subscribers of the Touchdown Black and Gold Vlog. Last week, I was not able to post a Week 2 Picks and Predictions episode. I was at home recovering. Had a little bout of Rona here in the household, so I was not able to get that up and running. Just had other things to deal with, but I'm on the mend. I'm feeling much better, and I'm ready to rock and roll. All right. So before I say anything more, thank you for your continued time, attention, support for all of you subscribers of the Touchdown Black and Gold Vlog. But if this is your first time tuning in, I need your help. I want to keep momentum on our side. Everything is trending in the right direction. Rates are up, views, subscriptions, comments. So please spread the word about the Touchdown Black and Gold Vlog, because I want to find more college football fans just like you. So please, and as I always insist, that when you watch these episodes, that these are built and fueled by you, the college football fan. So please, I always ask for, welcome, and insist that you blow up that comment section below. Please, I want to hear from you. Exercise your right, your college football voice. And if you do, I promise that I will get back to each and every one of your comments much sooner than later individually, because without you, none of this is possible. And man, this is so much fun. I love being here with you on the weekly, sharing my love for all things college football, you with my fellow fans, my family, everybody. So thank you for making this channel a continued success. All right, so the usual lineup that I have, or agenda for my picks episodes, is before I give you my 13 picks and predictions, that I need to share with you, first of all, the Week 3 trap games. These are some games that I've identified one of the two participants. I think they better not be looking ahead to the following week's matchup, or else they're going to be upset, whether they're at home or on the road. So I will give you my trap games here shortly. Then the next segment after that will be my ultimate underdogs of Week 3. These are, I always like to share with you 3 to 4 games that I've identified that one team in the matchup is absolutely a decided underdog via the point spread. But I like to go ahead and point out a few that I believe can potentially pull the upset and take care of business and take down the highly favored team. Well, in some cases. I mean, there might be a 10-point favorite compared to a 2-point favorite. So depending on the quantity of that point spread, it could potentially be a monumental upset. So you definitely don't want to miss those. And then my third section and segment will be, as I mentioned, my 13 picks of games that I have chosen at random to go ahead and discuss the matchups and give you a little bit of insight to who has the inside track and who I project will be victorious in those matchups. So you don't want to miss that. So stand by, please like, share, comment, subscribe, get involved. I can't wait to hear from all of you. Hit up those comment sections, click that subscribe button so you can get notifications when I put out new episodes, which from now on I will be with you at least once a week, if not twice a week. Just depends on how much extra time I have. This is a hobby for yours truly. I've got a legit gig. I have 2 children, so I've got a lot on my plate. So if I had to do all this extra work, if I had to do all these edits and dress rehearsals and retakes, that sounds like work. Whew, makes me sweat. I don't want to do any extra work. I've got a job, as I mentioned, so just to let you know, I do my own stunts here on the Touchdown Black and Gold vlog. All right, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. My first segment that I have for every Pick'em episode is my trap games, and I am so fortunate to be joined in studio by Squiddy himself. He will help me tell you, what kind of games are these, Admiral?
It's a trap.
That's right. These are the Week 3 trap games that I've identified for you. Let's go ahead and get moving into those. My first of 3, Indiana travels to the West Coast to take on UCLA in a Big Ten matchup inside the storied Rose Bowl. Believe it or not, Indiana is favored at UCLA. I mean, when's the last time that happened? Other than if this was a basketball matchup of round ball blue bloods, which both of these teams would be, but not necessarily in football. But I'm putting UCLA, the home team, on a trap alert because next week they travel down south to Death Valley to take on the Tigers of LSU down there in Baton Rouge. So I'm putting UCLA definitely on trap alert. So don't be looking ahead. Take care of business against the Hoosiers, first and foremost, UCLA. The second trap game I have for you, Tulane travels to number 15 Oklahoma of the mighty SEC, and I'm putting Oklahoma on trap notice because last week, if you watched Oklahoma, I know they are ranked, Tulane isn't, but Oklahoma squeezed out a 4-point victory. Mighty Oklahoma at home, a game that was really in doubt until halfway through the fourth quarter, when Tulane took highly favored and Big 12 favored to win Kansas State. The Wildcats last week traveled down to New Orleans, and they did escape New Orleans with a 7-point victory, but Tulane gave them all they could handle and more, because next week Oklahoma hosts number 7 Tennessee in their SEC debut, a matchup of highly ranked teams. So I'm putting Oklahoma absolutely on trap alert. You better not be looking ahead. The Green Wave can play some ball, because I don't want to tell you, but this is... Thank you, Admiral, once again, right on cue as he always is. He's in mid-season form already, is Admiral Akbar. And finally, my last trap game that I'm going to share with you, Vandy of the SEC, they travel to Georgia to take on Georgia State. I'm putting Vandy on notice because next week they travel to number 6 Missouri. They travel to Como, which is nearby. I currently am a resident of the Show Me State. Columbia is a stone's throw away. So Vandy does open up SEC play next week at Missouri, but they better not be looking ahead to Georgia State. This is a Sun Belt conference team that can score points, so they better not be looking ahead against Georgia State, which I believe they are the Panthers, I believe. Please, if I'm wrong, please correct me. I never claim to know everything, so let me know who officially Georgia State's mascot is, because I like to always be told. I like to be informed, in the know. And hey, if you learn something new each day, you've improved as a human being. So Vandy, I'm putting you on trap alert. Don't be looking ahead to Missouri. And that, ladies and gentlemen, sports fans, my college football brothers and sisters, are my Week 3. What, Admiral Akbar? They are my...
It's a trap.
Thank you. Those are my trap games for Week 3. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. My next segment is I'm going to move in to my ultimate underdogs. Some teams in week 3 that I have identified can pull the upset. And I'm just waiting for one other thing to officially kick off this segment. Where is it? That's right. That can mean it is time. Take it away. Underdog. One of my favorite cartoons as a child. Hanna-Barbera classic. Let it play. So these are my week 3 ultimate underdogs. And I will start from the lowest point spread to the highest as far as taking a risk on, hey, I think one of these teams can and probably will pull an upset here in week 3. Let's start off with my small dog breed. Let's make this my Pomeranian. Appalachian State, the Mountaineers travel to East Carolina to take on the Pirates. East Carolina, the home team, they find themselves a 2.5-point underdog against the Mountaineers. Yes, Appy State does have a tradition of excellence. They are winners. They have won numerous national titles at the FCS level. They have knocked off major players in the FBS level. Ask Michigan fans about Appalachian State. But I think the Pirates can really get this done. They're 2-0. Appy State is 1-1 with a loss against Clemson. So, hey, there's no disrespect with that loss against a very good Clemson team. But the Pirates, they absolutely looked good last week at Old Dominion, ODU, ODA. All right. So I think the Pirates of East Carolina can and will get it done. So that's my small dog for week 3. My medium dog breed, let's make this my Corgi. I got a good old-fashioned SEC matchup. Texas A&M, the Aggies travel to the Swamp to take on Florida. The Gators find themselves a 3.5-point underdog at home in the Swamp. I mean, how often does this happen where we see Florida a home dog? Yes, Florida looked awful in week 1 against in-state rival Miami, the U. Texas A&M did take Notre Dame to the wire in week 1, but Notre Dame just lost last week against the Northern Illinois University Huskies and also paid NIU $1.4 million to kick their ass as well. And so how good is A&M? I'm really having difficulty identifying who this team is. I think Florida is a little bit healthier. They're going to be utilizing their future, their stud young quarterback, along with Graham Mertz. So look out, A&M. I think Florida can and will potentially pull this upset over A&M. I feel good about that one. My next dog, let's make this my large dog breed. How about my golden retriever this week? Memphis travels to Florida State to take on the Seminoles. The Tigers of Memphis find themselves a 6.5-point underdog as of this morning on Thursday. Florida State, 0-2. They have looked absolutely abysmal and dreadful along both lines of scrimmage. Yes, I think they will be the more physical team, but this Memphis team, led by the maestro at quarterback, Seth Hannigan, they can put up points aplenty. You better be on the lookout here, Florida State. You better not take this team lightly. I really like this Memphis team. I'm uber high on them. They are my college football playoff pick to represent the group of 5. So Memphis, I think, can potentially go down there to Doak Walker and take care of the Seminoles down there in Tallahassee and dropping them to 0-3. So definitely want to be paying attention to that game. And my last underdog of this week, my big dog breed, how about my St. Bernard? BYU. of the Big 12, the Cougars travel west, or actually it'd be east, sorry, my geography, I'm all over the place. They travel east to take on Wyoming, the Cowboys in Laramie, and the Cowboys find themselves an 11-point underdog at home, to where we've seen so many strange things happen at Laramie, which a little trivia question and trivia answer, that Laramie, where the Cowboys play, is the highest elevation stadium in the nation, so oxygen is a little bit tough. But BYU, being from the great state of Utah, it shouldn't really affect them that much. But we've seen big-time programs go down to the Cowboys there in Laramie. Just ask Missouri of a few seasons ago, ask Texas Tech just last season. And plus, what's more American than a cowboy? All right, so this would be a big-time, huge upset, being an 11-point dog at home. But I think Wyoming is going to give them everything they can handle and more. So definitely be on the lookout, BYU, for my big dog breed, my big potential upset this week. Wyoming over BYU. So that was week 3's underdog, my ultimate underdog picks. So take us out, underdog. Appreciate you. Part of my childhood right here. There it is. All right. So please like, share, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think so far about the episode and yours truly. All right. So now it is the main segment of this episode. It is time for my week 3 picks and predictions. And if this is your first time with me, each and every week I will pick 13 games. Some are absolutely the big time, sexy matchups of the week, but some could be kind of some off the radar games that seem interesting to me. And of those 13 games, I always have 4 specialty games each and every week when they apply. I will always choose one matchup that includes either Air Force, Army, or Navy. One of my academy games of the week, my way to salute the fighting men and women of the United States military out of respect. Secondly, another specialty game will always be my non-Power 5 matchup game of the week, which will include 2 teams from the non-Power 5 conferences. Third, whenever Iowa plays, I will always have my Iowa game selection of the week, which Iowa is in action here in week 3. And then fourthly, my big specialty game, my spotlight game of the week will be to me, the biggest game of the week. So those are the 4 specialty games that you can expect here within the following 13. So, and this is what I'm looking to do. At the end of the regular season, yours truly has set a goal. I want to be at 75% or better at the end of the week, and I just pick these straight up. I don't play the spread. Now, as I mentioned, week 2, I did not get my picks in. So following week 1, I went 7-6 in week 1. Woo! Nah, I don't expect College Game Day or anybody to be calling me anytime soon to do picks. All right, sorry. So right now I'm 7-6, currently 54% correct. So I got a little bit of work to do. All right, so let's go ahead and move into my first game. Right out of the gate, it's the big noon Fox game of the week. Number 4, Alabama travels to Wisconsin in Madison. SEC versus Big Ten. I love this matchup. Hardly ever do we see the Southern teams travel north and vice versa. This is not your father's or older brother's Wisconsin team. This is not led by Brett Bielema, Paul Chryst, or Barry Alvarez, the great Barry Alvarez. I don't know how many players on Wisconsin's squad could actually even play, if not start, for Alabama. I like the Tide big time. I think Wisconsin is really going to struggle to get to that 6-win plateau to even get to a bowl game this season. I like the Tide to roll up there in Madison. Give me Alabama. Next one, the College Game Day crew will be in Columbia, South Carolina. Number 16, LSU travels to South Carolina to take on the Gamecocks. LSU, that week 1 loss against upstart USC, who potentially could be a legit contender within the Big Ten. South Carolina is 2-0, but they looked absolutely abysmal week 1 against Old Dominion University, and squeaked out a victory. But last week, traveled to Lexington, Kentucky, and broke it off in the asses of Kentucky, the Wildcats. But I'm sorry, South Carolina's at home. They're 2-0. They have a better record. But I just can't unsee what I saw week 1. That porous, that very, very porous, awful showing against Old Dominion, against the Monarchs. I'm taking LSU, quarterback Nussmeier. He's got stud playmakers around him. Give me LSU, and I think they pull away big late in the game. Give me the Tigers in this one. Next game up. I think this might be the only ranked matchup of the entire week. We don't have a lot of sexy matchups here in week 3, but what we do have, and I haven't pointed them out yet, we do have a lot of rivalry games that are on the docket this week. So if you are involved, if you're a fan of one of these teams in a rivalry game, I know this is a big week for you, and there is a ton of awesome rivalry games on the docket for week 3. So number 24, Boston College of the ACC travels to nearby Columbia, Missouri to take on number 6 Missouri, the Tigers. Wow, they keep climbing those polls. The locals, the natives are uber excited for the Tigers this season to see what they can do. This is absolutely their first real matchup and challenge of the season. They have rolled over Murray State and Buffalo. So, we'll see what Missouri's made of. BC, we know who they are and what they want to do. They want to be physical, control the lines of scrimmage, get downhill 3 yards in a cloud of dust. Definitely will try to body punch and body blow Missouri into submission. I think they'll have some success at it, but this Missouri team, too talented, too quick on offense. They'll put up points, and I think they just outscore Boston College. I like Missouri in this matchup to get it done, to send the home folks, home crowd, happy, smiles on their faces. Give me the Tigers in that matchup. Next game up, one of the rivalry games that I love about this week, number 9 Oregon, who's now in the Big Ten Conference. I'm still getting used to that. They traveled to Corvallis to take on their in-state rival, the Oregon State Beavers. It is difficult for me to root against the Beavers. Go Beavers. Don't make me expand on that, please. But Oregon, way too talented. I still think this team is still learning how to gel with each other. They are 2-0 on the season, but they haven't looked like a top 10 team. Now, if you recall, I did pick Oregon to win the Natty title this season. They were my preseason pick. I think I'm feeling pretty good still. I mean, especially last season. From the get-go, I chose Michigan to hoist the trophy. So we'll see what Oregon can do. I think there's too much talent on Oregon. I think they finally start to put this together. They take care of their in-state rival. Give me the Ducks in this matchup. 5th game on the docket, number 18, Notre Dame. As I mentioned, they did lose last week at home in South Bend in front of Touchdown Jesus. You know, the blasphemy. They lost at home against NIU, the Huskies of the MAC conference. They traveled to Purdue to take on Purdue Pete and the Boilermakers. Can Purdue boiler up and get it done? I don't know. Purdue had a week off to prep and prepare. Hudson Card, their quarterback, can sling it all over the yard, but can he stop with the turnovers? That's kind of his MO. And where is Notre Dame's psyche? I mean, prior to last week's game, everybody, including myself, had them penciled into the college football playoff after that victory on the road at Texas A&M week 1. coupled with their cupcake, their Charmin soft schedule. So where are they going to be mentally? I think Purdue will give them a game for a half, maybe three quarters. But I think Notre Dame's defense is just too solid. And quarterback Riley Leonard for the Fighting Irish, I think he is a little bit beat up, is the rumor on the street. But I think he'll make enough plays. I think Notre Dame gets out of West Lafayette victorious. Give me the Fighting Irish, the Irishmen with an anger management issue to take home this victory. Next, another one of the rivalry games of this week, intriguing, the Apple Cup up there in the great state of Washington in the northwest. Washington State, the Cougars, travel to their in-state rival, the Washington Huskies, now of the Big Ten also. I know, mind-blowing. So this game is in Seattle. It's not inside Husky Stadium. It's going to be played where the Seahawks play. So a neutral site game, per se. I think Washington is way too much. Washington State has looked pretty good via the scores, the stat lines anyway, through the first 2 weeks. They are 2-0, but I like Will Rogers, quarterback of Washington, who is historically a leader in, I believe, passing yards in the SEC conference. That's crazy that people have forgotten about Will Rogers. It's like mother effers have forgotten about Dre. They've forgotten about Will Rogers. Okay? All right? So I like the Huskies in this game. They're a better team. And plus, I'm a dog lover. So that's how it is. Give me the Huskies in this year's matchup for the Apple Cup trophy. Next, a matchup of college basketball royalties. Two Blue Bloods, two Giants. But in week 3, they meet on the gridiron. UConn, the Huskies, the two-time defending national title winners in basketball, travel to Duke to take on the Blue Devils in Durham. UConn, bad. Duke, better. For football anyway, I'm taking the Blue Devils in this matchup. Probably the only time all year that I will include UConn in one of my picks, but I had to do it. I got to give the UConn Husky faithful out there a little bit of love and respect. Good luck, but I like Duke in this matchup of basketball heavyweights, which will be played out on the gridiron. So give me Duke in this matchup. Number 8, another rivalry game, and I'm telling you, I don't know what to make of this game or really this team. Colorado, which I'm not going to call them Colorado or even the Buffaloes. Deion travels to Colorado Springs to take on their in-state rival, the Colorado State Rams, at Elevation. What can Deion do after last week getting embarrassed, pulling his son out of the game late after 6 sacks, I think 10 hits, just to protect him, to keep him safe, which fathers are supposed to do. So I get that. This team, Deion, weak along the lines of scrimmage. It's like, why even have offensive or defensive linemen even on the field? Just put your playmakers out there. Tell Shedeur Sanders, your quarterback, to run around, make something happen. After the shellacking they took at Nebraska, I really want to pick Colorado State, but I'm taking Deion in this matchup because, quite frankly, if they don't win this game, Deion may not win himself another game the rest of the year, and that is not me being over dramatic. That's really a fact for how bad they look. They're soft, they're weak, but I'm taking Deion in this matchup, maybe walk-off touchdown or walk-off field goal style. Number 9, a Big 12 matchup. UCF, the Central Florida Golden Knights, they travel to TCU. Orlando versus Dallas. I love this. The Horned Frogs tangle with the Knights. I like this TCU team. They're tough at home. Plus, they have one of the most gallant, beautiful, and extravagant cheerleading squads, the Purple Chaps. That's all I have to say about that, like Forrest Gump would say. But I like UCF more. I think they're a better team, more speed, more talented. Plus, Coach Gus Malzahn knows how to win these big games on the road in these environments. Give me UCF on the road to take care of TCU. Give me the Golden Knights. And now, ladies and gentlemen, sports fans, brothers, sisters, young and old, now it's time for my 4 specialty games of week 3. Please like, share, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you think so far about my hot takes, my opinions. Do you agree, disagree? Some opinion, some fact. Let me know. I can't wait to hear from you. And thanks for all you do for the channel. So, number 10, my first specialty game of this week 3, my academy game of the week. The Air Force Falcons travel from Colorado Springs down to Baylor to take on the Bears of the Big 12. Maybe they'll be stopping in to see Joanna Gaines and company, get some apple butter while they're there in Waco. I love Air Force. Their triple option. It's hard for me ever to root against our academy teams, our military, especially for the sacrifices that they've made and will make in the future. But Dave Aranda, who's on the hot seat for Baylor, they must have this win, especially last week. They got dominated at Utah. I'm taking Baylor at home in Waco to take care of the triple option of Air Force, but in a very, very close game. Next, my non-Power 5 matchup of the week, the Aggies. No, not the Texas A&M Aggies, the other Aggies of New Mexico State travel to Fresno to take on the Fresno State Bulldogs. The Aggies struggling. Fresno State, year in, year out, is one of the better, if not best, group of 5 non-Power 5 teams. Plus, they have one of the greatest mascots in Victor E. Bulldog. I already said I'm a dog lover. I like Fresno State big in this matchup, especially at home in the Valley. Give me the Bulldogs in this one. On to Victor E. Dog. Next is my Iowa pick of the week. They are in action. Troy, the men of Troy, travel to Kinnick Stadium, Iowa City, to take on the Hawkeyes. Last week, Hawkeye fans, I know, kind of licking our wounds a little bit. We have to have a short-term memory after a meltdown late in the second half in a losing effort to the Iowa State Cyclones, who travel back to Ames with the Cy-Hawk Trophy for at least one season. Can Iowa respond? How will they respond? I need to see a lot more at quarterback. I do expect to see number 2 quarterback Brendan Sullivan in there for a few series. But Cade McNamara, this is the last chance for this offense to get right before Big Ten play opens up. Iowa will respond. They will out physical Troy. They'll run the ball, set up a lot of play action. I do expect a good bounce back game for Iowa. Give me the Hawks in this matchup on Iowa. And now my spotlight game of the week. And normally it is a matchup between ranked opponents, but this is a rivalry week to me. And there's a big time rivalry, one of my favorite rivalry games. It was on hiatus, I believe, for 12, maybe 13 seasons. But this year's edition of the Backyard Brawl, an old Big East matchup renewed. West Virginia, the Mountaineers travel to the Steel City to take on Pitt, the Panthers, in Pittsburgh. I love this rivalry game, very heated between both teams. Fan bases, one of my favorite games to watch every single year when this matchup is on the docket, and I will be watching on Saturday. Pitt 2-0, West Virginia 1-1. Definitely looked a little bit out of sorts week 1 when yours truly picked them to knock off and defeat Penn State. But definitely they just could not get out of their own way, shot themselves in the foot plenty of times, like Cheddar Bob from 8 Mile. Sorry, I had to drop that one on you. You probably didn't see that coming. But I think also the weather delay didn't help them. I like West Virginia in this matchup. I do believe in the Mountaineers. I think they get it done on the road. They take care of their rival. The Pitt fans are sent home in tears. They're upset, while the Mountaineer fans rejoice and sing Country Roads from Afar. Give me West Virginia in this matchup for this year's Backyard Brawl. Well, that's it, guys. I really appreciate it. That's my Week 3 picks and predictions episode. Thank you for all you do, your continued time, support. I feel so blessed to be able to do this with you. Once again, it's been an absolute pleasure. But please, I want to hear from you. Like, share, comment. Don't forget to click that subscribe button. And I may or may not have an instant reaction episode to the Iowa-Troy game on Saturday night or Sunday morning. You might have to just tune in. If not, I promise I will be back next week. So until next time that we meet up, be safe, be responsible, enjoy the rest of your work week, your school week, enjoy the football, enjoy each other, and I'll see you soon on the Touchdown Black and Gold vlog. Go Hawks. Bye-bye.